And one of the other things that Jeffrey Epstein is famously supposed to have been is a germaphobe. Like, there are descriptions of him refusing to shake hands with people. He wanted to do the elbow bump or the fist bump. A great irony, as far as I can see, because he seemed to have sex with three strangers a day at a minimum. Can you talk about why you decided to approach the Epstein story through the nature of his obsession with sexual health?
Yes, it's terribly ironic, right? Especially now that we know from his medical records that he tested positive for multiple sexually transmitted infections multiple times. He tested positive for chlamydia in 2015, and he tested positive for gonorrhea, I think, in 2016 and 2018, at least. So it's terribly ironic that he was so obsessed with hygiene.
And tell me something, let me just interrupt you to ask, did the word condom ever appear in any of these emails? Because I can't help thinking, why on earth wasn't he just wearing a condom?
Yes, they did, actually. And it's interesting that you bring that up because there is one specific exchange that we don't write about in the story, but he talks about one girl testing positive for an infection called I don't know how to pronounce it, uraplasma, which is not a sexually transmitted infection I had ever heard of, but it was one that he had clearly heard of because he specifically says in the text messages, oh, I've heard of this. This is an infection that you get just from having sex with a condom. So this was clearly something that he had dealt with before. He had a tremendous, very expansive knowledge of sexual health, as I write about in the piece. He knew quite a bit about women's sexual health, and he would cite it very frequently. And he talked about these women's sexual partners having sex with, using condoms with their other partners as well. So yeah, I mean, he did use condoms. I think that he was just, if I had to, extrapolate from the emails, he was just having so much sex that, ultimately, prophylactic use was somewhat immaterial.